How's everybody doing? I gotta get my microphone together. So listen, that's the PBC on Fox set. That's it. You guys like that shit? I don't like the faux crowd. I don't like it. I expected much better. This is in the Fox Studios in LA. I expected it better. I'm sorry. You know, but as time goes on, just like Top Rank and even Fight Camp over there, Eddie Hearn is getting better as the week goes on. So let's see what they do when they come back on August the 22nd. In fact, we'll start right here. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com, and yeah, we back on. I feel good. I feel good. We are back on the saddle, in the swing of things, getting out these preview videos, and just, it's a new day around here on the channel. Of course, I'm going to be here for every single major fight live. I haven't missed a Shawn Porter fight since he was fighting on Showbox. Let's start here. This is from PBC on Fox. Hold up, is my calendar right? Let's get the time up there for you. It is Monday, 10:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 10th, 2020. Let's start right here. Please subscribe.
November 21st, Fox pay-per-view. Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. Oh yes, the return of the man regarded by many as the #1 welterweight in the world, which is saying something, taking on a top 10 welterweight and the former undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. That's Danny Garcia. Fox pay-per-view on November 21st. And joining us right now, a man who knows both fighters quite well, beat Danny Garcia and then lost razor close in an epic with Errol Spence.
So this was a segment in between fights on the Jamal James versus Tomas Delorme card on PBC on Fox. Their first card since COVID hit. I watched the whole card. You know, it ran late, but nonetheless, you know, I enjoyed it. You know, I didn't like the bickering between the commentators, but nonetheless, between Brian Kenny, Joe Goosen, and Lennox Lewis. Yeah, all three of you need to get it together. So this is Shawn Porter. This video, Shawn Porter, former, WBC and IBF 147-pound champion. So on August the 22nd, some people may feel that he's going to be getting a light, easy touch when he takes on Sebastian Formella of Germany, 33 years old, kind of looking like the schmo cut. We watched the fight of his, little bit of some tape on him. Some people in the chat were saying that he's, you know, got a nice little style. He does have a little herky-jerky, stiff style, slickster style, and he's a mover. I'm going to pull up a little bit of tape for the end of this video. So we're going to talk about the card, talk about what's possibly next, and talk about how, like, listen, I'm not going to give Shawn Porter too much shit because, you know, he's been really, like, fighting. Look. Ugas, Danny Garcia, Granados, Berto, Thurman, Broner. Kell Brook before that, Paulie Malignaggi, Devin Alexander. Julio Diaz was still a credible name. Bro. So, for him to get a light touch right here, it's like, I'm not going to give him no shit. All right? Let's listen in. This was him, you know, this Saturday.
It's Shawn Porter. Shawn, it's Brian Kenny. Good to talk to you again.
Great to see you. Great to be back doing this.
Shawn, first, let me, how do you break that down? When you think Spence, Garcia, how does that fight work out?
I need a few rounds. I need to know that Errol Spence is the normal and the same Errol Spence that he's always been. As soon as I can see that, then I can make a conscious decision on who I think is going to win the fight. But I think if Errol Spence is any less than he was against me, that's going to be a very great fight, and a fight that Danny Garcia could very well walk out of the ring as a winner.
So you think if Spence, even if everything's good physically, that it's still going to be a tough fight?
You know what? Errol's got to be tough. He's got to be right. Everything's got to be right. Physically, mentally, emotionally, the whole nine. And as soon as it's only going to take me a few rounds to see Errol Spence be Errol Spence. And from there, I'll be able to see, you know, who's going to be able to win that fight.
We're not, for those who don't follow the channel, if you do follow the channel, you know how I get down. Spence versus Garcia, Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia for the WBC and IBF 147-pound titles as a pay-per-view. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on that. I'm waiting for if there's going to be any type of shoulder content. Like, I highly doubt there's going to be a face-to-face. Maybe they can do something innovative with Brian Campbell still there, via satellite with both fighters and Campbell moderating. Maybe they can do something like that. I doubt that there's going to be a PBC fight camp, not Eddie Hearn's fight camp. The name is just overused. But PBC's fight camp is their shoulder program, build-up content to their pay-per-views. I've covered every single episode from when they had, what was the first one? Spence versus Mikey Garcia, Pacquiao versus Thurman, Wilder versus Ortiz 2, Wilder versus Fury, Spence versus Porter. And I'm probably missing one, but I'm thinking that's all the PBC fight camps. And remember, they did, they do like countdown shows and, they did it for the Charlo Harrison too. You get where I'm going with this. Basically, I'm interested to see how they do that when, the camera crews can't really follow the fighters around and give them like COVID and shit, So, me personally, I'm also interested to see how Errol Spence does the first few rounds because he got a whole new, all that shit brand new. How is he going to feel getting cracked? You don't want to get hit by Danny Garcia, man.
Shawn, you're back on our air in the ring in 2 weeks. What was the layoff and quarantine like for you as a world-class fighter who's used to constant work?
I tell you what, honestly, it was nice until my dad called me and said, come over to my house. We got to get to work. My dad actually got back working about beginning of April. He had a heavy bag hanging from his tree. And since then, we've really built out the backyard. It's not hanging from a tree anymore. But we got a couple bags of equipment, and we've been going strong since April. So I'm more than prepared for this fight.
All right, and you had a baby during the quarantine, right?
Yeah, I had a quarantine baby. Yeah. He's actually almost a month. He's almost a month, and he's healthy and strong. We stayed at the hospital just overnight and came home the very next day. So my family is beautiful. Everybody's wonderful, and we can't wait to get in the ring in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Okay, congratulations to you. What are your thoughts on the welterweight division? As far as now, it is jam-packed. I mean, even with our card tonight, our next couple of cards, seems like everybody's gravitating toward 47. What would you like to do if you can win your next fight?
You know what? We'll see. I know that this fight is going to be for a title eliminator, and as soon as we know what our next move is after this fight, then we'll go for it. But as you just said, the welterweight division, I think, is the most loaded division in terms of competition in boxing. And I think that right now, anybody could be a champion at any time. So I'm just looking forward to jumping back in there.
All right, Shawn Porter, the knot in the tie is bigger than ever.
This guy right here is the guy he's fighting, Sebastian Fundora. My bad if it was a little clipping, but when I use this Xfinity, it slows my stuff down. We already spent enough time on Shawn Porter. Basically this guy right here, Sebastian Fundora, he's a mover. Doesn't, I don't really see him as a threat. Let me pull up the email. Here's the. It is going to be Saturday, August the 22nd. Shawn Porter versus Sebastian Formella for the WBC and IBF title eliminator for both. Goddamn. Well, yeah, because there's one champion right now that has both of those belts. Sebastian Fundora, the 6'5", 154-pounder right here, 14-0-1 with 9 KOs. That split draw against Jamonte Clark. This is another nice step up for him against Nathaniel Gallimore. You saw him against Erickson Lubin. Patrick Teixeira, current WBO 154-pound champion. Julian J. Rock Williams, Justin Deloge, Jason Rosario. He's been around. This is a nice step up for Fundora. And then you have Joey Spencer in a 6-round attraction. And he's got to shine. Let's go take a little gander at the rankings. 147 pounds. Of course, Errol Spence, WBC, IBF, 147-pound champion. Manny Pacquiao looks like he's not going to be fighting this year because for those who don't know, it's been well known that Pacquiao can't fight like between like September and like December because of his obligations in the Philippines. Being he's a senator now, Senator Pacquiao, and he might even run for president. So he can't fight like around that time. So he's probably not going to be fighting till like January or something like that. If he fights, maybe April. So he's the WBA Super World Champion. Virgil Ortiz, WBA Gold, but that belt don't count. No disrespect to Virgil Ortiz. Terence Crawford, WBO 147-pound champion. We don't know what he's doing next. I want him against Ugas, though. But Ugas got to fight against Abel Ramos coming up for the WBA World Belt, another belt that shouldn't exist, but fuck it, right? So the question is this fight with Shawn Porter is an eliminator or the final eliminator? Let's see. It says more in a WC eliminator. Interesting. Well, anyway, you're going to see me here August the 22nd during fight week. Hopefully, if they have a Zoom call or media call during the week, we're going to be back on that as we're getting back into the swing of things. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. Oh, by the way, to Kenny Porter for smushing Barbershop Conversation's face. That's like all-time classic footage. That shit go down to that shit is history. Crazy. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT for life, by the way. That's TSTREET, the number 4, life.